ARIGBABU.
Oh.
And B is coined out of Baba because my children call me ARIBABA. So my friends prefer to say ARIB.
All right, we're going to be calling you KAREEM on the program today, anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, so we want to talk about graphic art and the relationship it has with us as individuals, as a society, and even when we talk about the word of art, it's it's encompassing art generally. But just before we talk about this relationship and the connection, I'd like you to just walk us through how it all started for you. How did you know that I think I want to go into graphics? This is what I want to do. How did it start for you?
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, I for one would have been either a police officer or a customs officer.
Really?
But my grandfather told me that uniform job is not my job. I thought of becoming a pilot. He said no, that my world is the world of entertainment, teaching people how to know things or putting smile on faces of people. And I started looking at what do I do that will make that dream come true. And that was when I thought, oh, why not art? And since I've been in art, I chose to be in the education line of it. So and that's why I ended up at the Lagos State Polytechnic, now Lagos State University of Science and Technology.
So how long have you been into this profession of graphic art?
Well, I started as a student as far back as 1992. Or let me say in my secondary school days, I was a very good artist. And my fine art was one of the best subjects I did. So when I got into the Polytechnic, I joined the fine arts department, and eventually I joined the graphic arts section for my HND. And my master's, my PhD, I've been in fine arts.
So I think now it's a good time for you to walk us through the connection there is with graphic art and art, because when we talk about art, a lot of people are just quick to attributing canvas, sculpting, textile, not a lot of people draw the scenario back to the technology and graphic art. So I want you to just view that connection for us. Okay,
graphic art is visual art. And whatever you do in the world of art, you will, one way or the other, be connected to graphics. Why? Because we say graphic art is visual art. Every other form of art that you do is what you see. But graphic art did not just stop at that being art. It now goes around to make information that you pass to people. The way you disseminate information, the way you connect with others. So graphic art is there as the link between art and the world. And you don't just send in signals, but you send in the art of graphics. And I said graphic art is visual art. Fine artwork is what you see. But in communication, you can speak and someone listen to you and hear you. But in graphics, it just show you a picture and it says it all. All the symbols you have in the road signs, the Red Cross symbols, all these are work of art, but in the graphic sense of it. And when letters are put on board, when you speak, we can get the sentences. But when a graphic art comes around, you can just use some letters, juxtapose it, and when you see those letters, you quickly understand what the person is trying to say. And you can also decide to just go into photo and put up an image. Once you see the image, you understand what this means. Some of us go to places and when you are in the airport, so many things are now written. Just symbols are put there for you and you will understand it. Those are work of graphic artists. And that's why a graphic artist is connected to everyone in the world today, because you communicate with virtually everybody around us, either with images or with letters. But the important thing is the graphic artist disseminates information to an heterogeneous audience via the visual work we do.
All right, so I was waiting for you to explain that part, but let's just go on this break, and afterwards the program continues. Please stay with us. Thank you for staying tuned. You're still watching World of Art on OGTV, and we're just talking about the connection there is to graphic art and art in general. And we still have with us in the studio today KAREEM ARIGBABU, who's been taking us through this conversation. He's a graphic artist who doubles as a photographer. You made mention of graphics as you know, a representative of art in symbols, letters, and you know, it does more communication better than written or spoken words. Now, if, for instance, I can't draw, can I be a graphic designer or a graphic artist?
Yes, you can be. Even with this new world now where we are, where digital has taken over the whole place, everyone can work from the phone, design, and you know, those that does more of communication these days do that on their phone. And so if you don't really have to be a born artist or be good in drawing, just have the sense of creativity. And once you have a sense of creativity and you can maneuver things on your laptop, computer, desktop, or your phone, then you can become a content creator through the graphic works you do there.
Yeah. So what are the tools you use as a graphic artist? You know, it's so easy for painters to say we use acrylic, we use all the paints, you know, all those stuff like that. What do you use to do your work as a graphic artist?
Well, like I said, if you go digital art, then you need a computer, you need graphic tablet, you have some software, Photoshop, CS4, and so many other things in that lineage. But if you are a hand graphist, what you just need is a pencil, maybe some color ink, your drawing material. But the fact that we are now in a new world, things are done on the system, and you virtually need not go using pencil or scale rule to draw anything again. Everything is there on the system. You can just create from your software and turn it to what you want and pass it to the world.
So what you're saying is, in graphic design or graphic artist, is there a difference between a graphic designer and a graphic artist?
Well, the graphic design is the job. Graphic artist is the one that does the graphic designs. So it's not the same thing.
So a graphic artist is also a graphic designer.
Yes.
So you made mention of if you decide to go digital,
yes,
you make use of the computer and those applications.
Yes.
So if you don't go digital, there's hand form of
yes
graphic.
Well, all art starts from somewhere.
Okay.
Someone once picked a charcoal and put a drawing on the wall. It started from there. Someone came and said, oh, charcoal is not easy to come by again, but I have canvas, all those white seashells. They use it in drawing. Later we got what we call chalk. And those chalk now, they are not changed to colors, where you have those acrylics that you all have and the like. So, but the important thing is that a graphic person draws out the message, either symbolically, or alphabetically, or numerically. The important thing is that the work of a graphic artist must be seen, must be feelable, and be touchable.
That's very interesting. So let's go back to the digital graphics now. Yeah. And I know a lot of people are watching. You know, there've been introduction of a lot of softwares over the years.
Yes.
And you know, you could just walk us through some that you think is flexible and you can recommend for upcoming graphic artists to, you know, utilize to build their experience in this part.
Well, there are so many of it out there now. In those days, we only know about CorelDRAW and maybe some Adobe Photoshop. Later, we had this CS Photo. And with this current age now, we have so many untaggable art software on the system. If you are very digital inclined, when you open your system, there are some, I don't know how to put it now, this software have been embedded in either your phone or your laptop. All you just need to do is click on it. Some call Eskimi. Eskimi, you can use it to create content. Even your WhatsApp now to have some emojis. Also some drops, which you can use to either disseminate. Because in most WhatsApp, instead of typing words to you again, just send one emoji or one sticker to you. It says it all. And you can as well design your own sticker, say what you want to say, and you pass it on. So there are so many of it. The digital world is flooded with several graphic elements that you can use to create content around the world now.
So what's the connection between graphic design or graphic art and photography?
Well, thank you very much. A graphic art, like I said, is a visual art. Photography is also a practice of art which creates image. And so when you say photography is a practice of art that creates image, it means it still creates the image that is used by the graphic artist. A graphic artist cannot stand alone without having an idea of what photography is, because the messages you are trying to pass across, you are passing out visual messages, and that messages will come from visual form. And that's why you see a graphic artist and a photographer have so much relationship, and that's a big bonding, because they cannot stand away from one another. A photographer, and when I say photo and you say graphics, photo itself means light, and graphics is, both are Greek words. Photo is light, graphic is drawing, and says photography is drawing with light. So, and a graphic artist, that's why you will see the marriage of photo and graphics. They're telling you that photo is image showing, graphic is visual messaging. That's it.
So if, for instance, like in those days where photography has had to evolve over the years, from sketching we got into the black and white, and from black and white we have the multiple colors that we have now. And from those beginning, those early days, there were no traces of
well, let us say that the language, the understanding, it was not there then. But graphic has always been there from the beginning because it's imaging. Anything that has to do with is graphic. Because when we say you communicate, and who are you communicating with? What are you communicating with? In what medium are you communicating? That's graphic. When photo started, you will realize the first image that could be called illustration in that book called The Pencil of Life by Joseph Nsephonis in 1826. A book was written then. That's graphic work. Those books written were graphic work. And the image imputed in it is graphic work. So graphic has been there. It's just that it has not been coined out. Or with so many things, the language has not gone there to say, this is graphic, this is photo.
Well, you know, when we talk about graphics, we also cannot take the fact that you would need a computer, and when you need a computer, you need electricity. So there's just like a lot of setbacks that most likely will push some people from picking graphic art to every form of art that doesn't require, you know, some of those things. If you want to be a painter now, you don't need a computer. You don't need electricity. It's just your canvas and your brush, and you're good to go. So would you say those are like some of the challenges you encounter as a graphic artist while doing your duty?
Why training?
Okay, I think we have. Let's take this call. Thank you so much, Femi, for joining us.
Yeah. Good evening, Ms. Maria.
Good evening.
Yeah, this is Femi from Abeokuta College.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, I have one or two questions for our guest this evening.
Okay.
And the question goes as thus. Now that computer and AI is almost taking over a lot of things we do in art. Say, for example, we have a computer that will paint, we have a computer that will sculpt, and also we have what they can be used for graphic design and all what have you. What do you think is the future of artists in 10 or 20 years to come? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Femi, for your question. Did you get that?
Yeah, I got it. Yes, well, the future of artists in the next 10 years, well, I would not say artists will not be there, because when you are talking of next 10 years, you are not talking about only artists. You are talking about everyone in the world, because AI is generally taking everything. AI can cook, AI can do everything for you now. So, but what I know is that the brain of AI too is still growing from somewhere. So some people will still have to be somewhere to put up those answers that AI will give to everything. So there's no how the real knowledge will die. It will still remain there.
So you're not bothered, you're not moved?
No, we're not too bothered about it. We're not too bothered. And you know, with the situation of things in our own country, we are not jet moving, crawling. So
you won't get to us anytime soon. That's what you're saying. Anyways, I hope that answers Femi's question. We also have another Femi all the way from Abuja. Femi is asking us, what are the skills required to be a graphic artist?
Well, like I said earlier, the skill you need for being a graphic artist does not really have to be you going to learn fine art again. If you are not art inclined originally, with the creativity that is inborn in you, you can become a graphic person using your software very well on the system. But the important thing is that the knowledge of graphic artists gotten from school, you don't have to get it. Maybe you become a roadside graphic person. And well, like I said, you don't have to go and train specially again if you don't want to. But if you want to, it's advisable that you go to a good institution where you get a better training.
I mean, these days we see a lot of softwares. People are upping their game, you know. Today you see this design, this app is doing this software is doing that. And I think a lot of people who are not having the mindset of growing their mind on a regular basis will just be left out. You made mention of Corel Draw, that, you know, was in use in those days. Not a lot of people used to use that now. Okay, so we'll just take this other question. How profitable is graphic art?
Well, it's very, very profitable. And you see, some people don't really know that even the world of art these days, like I said, graphic arts involve around all form of art. And it's very, very economical for us if we know. Like the last OGTV of ARIGBABU, I can tell you that the work of art in that place was just too good. And the graphic artist took the day. Because even the costumes that were put on there, you might think is a fabric person, but those are work of graphic artists. Because they were the one that must have designed or put one or two in order for the people there to be able to put out their image. And in our media today, the work of graphic has also pushed out the message of OGTV, like I said, to the world. And that's one of those things where I was saying that you cannot run away from these things, because one way or the other you come to it. Like on that day, there were more than 1,000 photographers accredited, and there were about 500 unaccredited photographers that were going around taking people's picture, selling to them as certain, and they're getting their money. So that is not how it's economical, and it's, the purse of whoever their ventures into it will not dry.
Okay, so just briefly, with just 1 second or 30 seconds, graphic artists, photography, are they like both sides of a coin? Are they like brothers and sisters that are inseparable?
They are very, very inseparable, because they intertwine, like I said. And that's why I say grapho is a Greek word. Photos is photo, is light. And the grapho is also a Greek word, and is drawing. Drawing image with light, and that's photography for you. That's graphics.
I want to say a very big thank you for joining us today. You've done a lot of justice to the question of what graphic design is, or what graphic arts is. And you know, graphic artists around Nigeria, all over the world, are doing an amazing job. And we just wanted to try to bring out the connection there is to art and graphic art, and you've done justice to that. So I want to say a very big thank you again for joining us. And this is how far we can go on the program today. I trust you've gathered one or two things for yourself. This is World of Art on OGTV, where we bring you artists and we explore the importance of art in our everyday lives. This program is brought to you by Prince Yemisi Shilon, legal practitioner, Africa's largest private art collector, Grand Owner and Chairman of Council, Yemisi Shilon Museum of Art. My name is Miriam Usman. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.